So, Jimmy, here's what I'm thinking. Got a box, right? We get a couple, we put them in the box. They have sex in the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we talk to them.
Yeah, and we talk
How
to
do you
them
pitch that?
Leave your playing by the rules at the door. It's time for Carl and Mike.
Welcome, Carl and Mike. How are you doing?
You are more alive in the afternoon.
I am alive in the afternoon. I'm telling you.
Even though you woke. What time did you wake up to get up?
Don't even talk to me. 6:30.
Have you had a nap?
Yeah. It took an hour.
All right.
About an hour. For those who don't know, I don't usually. We usually record these at 9:30. And today I had a meeting I had to go to at 7:30 in a town far away. And that's my loyalty, Michael, though, to the show. A little podcast gathering.
I don't have that. I slept right through that shit.
Yeah, you didn't even go. All right, so I'm all excited to hear about your weekend.
Oh.
The Tesla.
Okay.
You must tell.
Yeah. Okay, first off, Nita went to visit a friend, so I was on my own. So I had a friend of mine Tom came up from Houston. And he, 3 weeks earlier, had gotten a new car, a Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
Tesla S, Model S or whatever it is. It's an 85, so it's got the bigger batteries. And he wanted to get it on the road, so he drove it up here. And, folks, I'm here to tell you, Carl.
Yeah?
I have seen the fucking future.
Really?
Oh, my God. It is.
Big difference.
Yeah, we drove around that car. Now, we couldn't jack his car into my house because I didn't have the right adapter. He's got several adapters that he can plug into various places.
And none of them worked on yours?
No.
Okay.
Even though I have 220, it didn't work. So we chased around a little bit to just because he was unfamiliar with the territory. Wound up going to the local mall where they have them in the basement and, juicing it up there. But that car, it's really creepy. You're standing next to it. You're on the outside. He's on the inside.
Right.
And when he drives away, all you hear is the tires rolling on the pavement.
It is a little weird. It sounds like a car would be rolling down the hill.
Now imagine
the
how
engine on.
great that would be if everybody drove a car like that. Imagine how much quieter a city would be, just not having that.
I hadn't really thought about it that way. It would
yeah.
have its own sound, though. All these tires on the road would have a sound.
Well, we have that now with cars.
Yeah, that's true.
So what we're doing is we're eliminating the exhausts. Mm-hmm. We're eliminating, and even on the inside of the car, when you take, it's just real quiet on the inside. There is no, when you accelerate, there is no sound of acceleration. You're just moving forward.
I think they need a noise app for the Tesla.
Well,
don't you want a little?
Well, that's.
I think I'd be making that as an add-on off the bat.
First off, when I say you just get the sensation of acceleration, it's 0 to 80.
Did you go 0 to 80 on a ramp?
On an on-ramp.
Did you do that?
We probably did because we got on a freeway, but I don't. Well, no, we didn't get on a freeway. But I went from 0 to 60 in a very short period of time, to the point where I've never driven or ridden in a car that's even remotely that quick.
Did you drive it?
Yes, I did.
Holy
I
camole.
did drive it.
So
the thing that's nice about it, first off, it's got real tight steering, a lot tighter than any car I've ever owned.
Really?
And you can adjust the steering. You can make it where it's a little bit looser, or you can do it where it's real tight. You can adjust the it's got air suspension. You can adjust the air suspension to how you want it, and it's got what they call recuperative or something braking. So what you do is you put your foot on the gas, and that goes forward, and when you want to brake, you just take your foot off the gas, and it brakes. And that'd
be a little weird.
No.
No?
You get used to that real quick.
Really?
Now, if you wanted to slam on the brakes, you could do that, but it also has a built-in thing that says if you get too fast, we're going to shut this fucker down.
What do you mean, too fast?
I mean, if you get too close. I'm sorry, not too fast.
It has
but too
sensors
close.
in the front?
Oh, yeah. Sensors on the front, sensors on the
So
sides.
if it feels like you're coming up to a light and there's a car there sitting there, and they feel you're coming too fast, they're going to slow you down.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, and as you're crossing over white lines, there's this noise that it makes, or if you're getting closer to a curb, there's this noise that it makes that says you're getting ready
Even
to curb
if there's
your
no little
tires.
bumps there.
No. This is if you're getting
So the
moving
whole car is
towards
censored?
moving right or left. Oh yeah.
All the way around.
Yeah, and when you back up, it's got the camera and the
Right.
dash. The
Right.
dash is the center console is one big vertical screen. Okay.
Right.
And that's got all the readouts and all the things that you want. But as you're backing up, of course, it's got the backup camera, and it just shows you how close you're getting within inches. 23 inches, 22 inches, 21
Oh, wow.
inches. I didn't get out and measure it. I meant to do that, but anyway. So it was just, it was a phenomenal car to ride in,
Yeah.
a great sound system, and he said he didn't even get the, wingding sound system, but the radio was fabulous because you're not competing with the engine noise. You're not
Right.
competing with the engine noise.
So how
And
quiet is quiet? How quiet is it?
How quiet do you want it to be? That's how quiet it is.
So it's fairly insulated, so you don't hear the outside noise,
No,
and it's not making any inside noise.
not really.
Really,
No,
that's pretty darn quiet.
no, yeah. The only inside noise would be the sensors that you're getting too far to the left, too far to the
Right.
right, and radio.
And it makes no noise at driving at any speed.
Not really. There's going to be wind noise because there's just going to be wind noise, but there is no engine noise. There is no engine noise. There is no engine noise. There
Was
is
that
no
hard when
exhaust.
you were driving? Was it a little disorienting?
No,
No.
it was awesome. Now, here's what we did. We went on and had lunch with Pete and Alan, and we talked about it for a while. Now, Alan is a car guy. He's always been a car guy. He's always had great cars.
Right.
He had an Alpha Coupe that I always wanted, and he always had some really nice kind of stick drive. He liked to drive versus riding. Okay. Now he wants, he thinks it's sacrilege that the thing doesn't make noise. He wants it to
He wants
rev
that.
up.
See, I'm saying there's an app for
it's-
that.
Well,
There should be an app for
There
that.
should be, but anybody,
For the old timers.
Huh?
They want the noise.
Yeah, well, they can have the noise on the inside of the
Right.
deal if they want it, but not on the outside.
Right.
And so he was real adamant about that. In fact, his brother had just gotten a new Porsche, and you're talking about noise. Porsche's got a thing now where you can adjust the noise, and it'll make several different noises, and you can have it piped into the cabin. Different,
Yeah, that's what
noises. And
They have a stick shift?
I don't know. No, it's just a paddle thing on the deal. And
Is it just like a button, no key? Does it have a key?
Oh yeah, no, it's just a fob. There's no key. When Tom walks up next to it, the car lights up, and the door handles come out and it unlocks. So the door handles are recessed back,
Oh.
and only when he's there and it's unlocked do they slide out where you can get in and out. And
So
that's
is it
cool.
supposed to have better security than a regular car? Then?
I can't imagine that it wouldn't.
Does
Tesla
it have OnStar?
Tesla keeps up with that thing. Tesla knows where that car is at any given time.
So you're really not going to get a Tesla stolen. They would be able to track the car.
No. Yeah.
They're really going to cut down on theft of
Yeah.
the car.
So we went to lunch, and then we decided to go drive the new BMW i3, which is an electric car. Okay.
One more question before you go there.
Okay.
Did you get reactions from people driving in the Tesla? Or could they tell it was a Tesla or no real reaction?
No, I didn't.
notice.
I wouldn't. I was still stunned just to be in one and driving
Right.
it
Okay,
and everything
okay.
about it that I really wasn't paying
Right.
attention to that. And
So now you went to go to the BMW
yeah, so we
electric
drove
car.
over to the BMW.
They have electric car?
specifically to drive. Yeah. Well, it is a hybrid. It's got
So
a
it's
little.
not electric.
It's got no. It's all electric, but it's got a little motor in case you run out of juice that it can kick in. I
Right.
don't know if it's like a lawnmower motor or whatever it is, but it's enough to get
Like a
you.
little one of those baby spare tires.
Yeah, it's like
a baby spare
a
motor.
baby motor, and we didn't even turn that on. I mean, that wasn't even part of the
So-
deal. And so
If you would have been blindfolded, would you have been able to tell the difference?
they
in the BMW?
drive. I mean, they're totally different car. One of
Are
them's
they?
a big luxury car. I would say it's more like a high-end Lexus or a 750 BMW or
You talking about the
something like
BMW is high-end luxury or the Tesla?
that. I'm saying the Tesla's like
All right.
the
okay.
high end. Okay. the BMW i3 is kind of like a small Honda Element. It's got suicide doors. It's got interesting materials. It's different kinds of materials than you would normally see. The whole body of the car is some sort of high-impact plastic. Okay.
Right.
And the Tesla's all aluminum, except for the frame and everything is like cast magnesium. And so anyway, and the Tesla's a heavy car. I mean, it really rides well.
Right.
And the BMW felt, I mean, it was a lighter weight car, smaller car, but it still had a nice heavy feel to it. And it was real quick. The steering on that, whipping back and forth, it was just, it didn't take it, you didn't have to move it right or left much at all. And it had the same recuperative or whatever it is, regenerative braking system that as it brakes, it throws juice
pretty
back
close
into
to
the batteries.
Tesla in drive and feel and.
Well, no, it's just different because it's so much smaller, but yes, there's a lot of similarities.
How much does that go for? Is the same
Low
price?
end buy on the i3's $50K.
50K, and the Tesla's about 75.
Oh no, it's more than
85.
That. Yeah, it's probably pushing. I don't know. I didn't ask him, but my guess is it's somewhere. I don't know. My guess is it's more than 75.
Okay.
It depends on which one you get. He got the bigger battery. That's going to cost more
right.
money anyway. But he didn't get the fastest one, the one that everybody goes, holy shit.
All right. That's one where you press the button. Yeah.
Yeah. But this one still gave you that holy shit.
Right. Just didn't
feel.
have the button.
Yeah, it didn't have the button.
Didn't have the button.
Didn't have the launch button. But anyway, it was pretty fucking wild on Saturday to drive both those cars.
Yeah.
I mean, really wild. Because
So you want one now?
I would love to have an electric car,
Now,
but
if you could only pick one, which one would you buy?
Well, I'd pick the BMW because it's less money,
Right.
you know, and it's smaller. And so, here's the difference. You know, the BMW fully juiced, it'll only go 80 miles. The Tesla will go 260 something, I think is what it's rated, 250, 260.
You may be
like
in
that.
luck because in searching for the link for last week's show where we talked about the Tesla and you going on this drive, I saw Tesla's got a big announcement happening April 30th.
What's that?
They're not saying.
Oh, they're not.
They're a big unveil, so it could be that $45,000 Tesla or whatever.
I don't know. Could be. You know,
Because I know that's in the
and,
works.
and that would be, you know, it's like I told Tom, and I still believe this. The people that are driving those things, that are
Right.
buying the Teslas and
Right.
the BMWs, they're really the pioneers that are going to keep this whole thing moving forward.
Right. And there may be some value to have the first year Tesla
Yeah.
as a car. You know,
Oh
being
yeah.
an
Oh
old,
no, his is definitely the first year.
Right.
It's the first model.
That's
going to
that might
There'll
have
be
some
a
value.
kind of a collector
classic
thing
car
down the
thing.
road. Yeah. But anyway, you know, so he's got a power station at the office, power
Right.
hookup at home.
Did they
So
give him those power stations?
No,
you have to go
you
buy
pay
them?
for it. But they have what they call superchargers between Dallas and Houston. One in Huntsville, one's in Corsicana.
How do you know where they
And-
are? I guess Tesla tells you. Does it have a computer on the screen?
Yeah.
How's
Oh
it-
yeah. No, it tells you
Did
exactly.
he have podcast app? Did he have the iTunes AirPlay in there?
Well, no, they didn't have that. It's more. I mean, you can get Google, you can get the internet, the whole ball of wax right there online. But anyway, it's so you get a half charge in 20 minutes, full charge in 40 minutes, which is good.
Yeah.
But you know, even at the mall, the showroom at the mall said they don't have enough power to the mall to juice those Tesla superchargers.
The mall didn't have enough.
I can't even imagine what they're. He said it's basically like
Somebody,
lightning going into that shit. You
So,
know, I mean, it's like really,
right.
really hot juice. I don't know anything about.
So where did he get
electricity.
charged up?
Huh?
Since he couldn't do it at your house.
We went to North Park. It just it's slower than a
Oh, it's
super
slower.
station
Oh, okay.
supercharger, which is and there's only one supercharger in Dallas, which is in Farmers Branch. Go figure that one.
Really?
Yeah. It's anyway. But he said
So I
there's
wonder
something like
what the,
800 of them in Houston.
800?
800, roughly 800.
Well, I think
cars.
so. Here's the question: is I wonder. It'll be interesting to see when the price comes into the 30,000 range, where it's competing with a regular car.
Yeah.
How quickly it adapts. People switch over. I think they could do real well. The battery's
If
always
people
the
had
problem.
the same experience I did, that same feelings that I did, I'd buy one tomorrow if it was priced right.
Would you?
Oh, yeah. What I would really like to have is something that costs about 30, 35,
Right.
and it would put, and you
Which is
could get
about an
about
SUV.
100,
That's the price of an SUV.
200 miles a gallon. It would, I mean, it would be great if it was like 400 miles or 300 miles
On the
per
charge,
charge.
right.
But the batteries are not there yet. Maybe that's what they're going to announce. Who knows?
Maybe.
It's going to there will be battery breakthroughs. There will be
Yes.
technological
Yes,
battery
absolutely.
breakthroughs. Then it'll happen. So it's just honestly, I think it's pretty nice, and it's quieter, it's smoother. It would be great for the environment.
Yeah.
I mean, great for the environment from a noise standpoint, but also from a pollution standpoint. Now everybody says, well, you're going to have to be, buying it from electric company. Electric company's going to be using coal or gas or something like that. Yeah, unless there's a way that you can juice it at home by putting up some panels. This gets back into our conversation we had earlier.
Why couldn't every car's roof have a solar panel?
Well, yeah, Tom and I talked about that because the whole roof of this thing is glass.
Right.
So if you can incorporate a solar panel in the top of the car, yeah, as you're driving to Houston, it's keeping itself juiced.
Right.
But the whole idea of having that at home, where you can plug in at home, and not only for your car, but do the house,
Right.
and then you're independent.
Right.
You're basically independent of the power company,
Right.
which would be great. Which should be, but
I mean, I understand solars may not be there yet, and the battery's not. I mean, it's there, but it's not there quite yet.
Mm-hmm.
When it gets to, well, I don't know how long does this charge last?
Depends on how he drives.
Yeah. So
Drive.
he's
It
got to
lasts
200
long.
miles. Is that what it is? Around 200?
Yeah, it's charged, but I don't know what the rating is. In other words, if you're going 80 miles an hour, I think they do it based on speed limits, 60, 65. But if you're going 80,
so it's not that
it goes
far
down
from how
fast.
many gallons you get. How many miles you get on a tank of gas?
No,
You're
it's
getting
not
pretty
that far.
close.
Yeah, you're getting
I
close.
think when you get to that close, when you hit
Yeah.
that mark, a tank of gas,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
you're easy to advertise it. You need to charge once a
Yeah.
week. You get
Yeah.
gas once a
Yeah.
week.
Yeah. But
It's
if
a
you
loose charge
if you can
if you-
seriously, if you can plug in and get a half charge in 20 minutes, that's a stop somewhere. Yeah, how long you stop when you go to a gas station to get gas? You're going to be there at least 10 minutes to fill up. You're going
Right.
to go inside. You're going to pee. You're going to eat and do all that kind of stuff. So basically, what you do is you fill up to a charging station. You plug it in. You go inside. You pee. You eat, and so it takes you an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah, and that's where we are now. It could change from there.
Yeah. So there's that, and they've got to have all the.
So there it is,
Charging
Tesla. Carl and Mike, a whole segment on you. Send that car to
Yeah.
Carl and Mike.
Yeah, I would like a red one. Tom's was red, and it was
Was
the
it?
color. Yeah. Inside finishes are just incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's really nice.
Best,
So,
most luxurious car you've ever been in.
I wouldn't say the most luxurious, but it was definitely really well appointed and
Yeah.
real simple, great materials, just incredible craftsmanship, but it just quiet as shit. I mean, quiet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ride in one.
Yeah. Go to a BMW dealership and try one of theirs, because that's really, and I may try and go do, I think a Leaf is a hybrid, but I'm not sure, and I think there's a Volt, and I think it's a hybrid according to Tom. I don't think it's a full bore electric.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I don't know, but I'm sorry, a Nissan Leaf and a
Yeah.
Chevy Volt are not a Tesla or a BMW. They're just
Well, no.
they're not going to have those kind of finishes.
But we need to have those
But they're not
cars,
going
too.
to cost as much. Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Need to have them. So we'll just see what happens.
Right. All right. Let's talk about Indiana Wants Me, Lord. That isn't that song. What was the real?
What is there? Indiana's got a state song.
Do they? They
No,
should.
see, that's the thing. Think about all the songs that are written about Texas. Does Indiana have a real catchy tune? I don't. Willie Nelson didn't write a song.
They're gonna. It
Ray
would be
Charles didn't write a song
Last
about
one
Indiana.
out of Indiana.
Yeah.
Turn out the
Yeah,
lights.
really.
You know what? I think this whole religious freedom law. I think the Christianists got their hand caught in the cookie jar, and really thought they'd be able to slide this little thing through, and didn't really expect.
Yeah.
the outpour here.
Yeah, they're trying to spin it all they can, and everybody's
they
going,
are.
"Oh no,
No, you don't get away with this.
Yeah, no. Who was it that got hold of Pence on an interview the other day and just like
George.
shoot on?
Yeah, did you see that one with George?
Yeah, he wouldn't let him go.
Yeah,
He was
and
like,
4 or 5 times, yes or no answer.
yeah.
How dumb is this guy? Just say no and deal with it afterwards.
Yeah, Joe in the morning said it's kind of like an iguana on his leg. He wouldn't let go.
He really wanted it.
No.
And all Pence had to say was no, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't
Yeah.
bring himself to say, no, this doesn't discriminate.
Yeah.
You know, I love how they try to tie to Clinton. Same law that Clinton passed 23 years
it wasn't
ago.
the same.
No.
And they were trying to do that because I listened to Fox this morning.
Yeah.
And they were trying to say it's the same kind of law that 19 or however many other
Right,
states have got.
right. Yeah, they got
No,
the party line.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's not, because what it does is it allows private entities, not just church entities.
Right.
It allows.
Is that the difference?
Public
Back in the
entities,
day, it
public
was-
businesses. Yeah, that's a big one of the deals. In other words, if I own a hotel,
Right.
and I see 2 gay guys come into the lobby, and say, "Sorry, not going to rent to you because you're gay,"
Right.
and I can do that because of my religious beliefs. That's the difference.
That's the difference.
That's
So
the
back
difference.
20 years ago, it was geared towards churches.
It was geared more towards churches and stuff like that. And the people in Fox are trying to spin it and go, well, the Jewish holiday's getting ready to come up, and I forget what it is, but they're the everybody's supposed to drink 4 glasses of wine, and a dad could allow his son who's 20 years old to drink wine, but before it was against the law and all just bullshit stuff.
there really? I've never heard of this.
It was just bullshit
Fox
stuff.
News is trying to-
on and on and on, trying to come up with all kinds of different angles to eat around this. But the state
So they're trying to make this into a...
the state of Indiana is getting ready to change that shit real fast. It's going to be that thing is going to be fixed or gone by the end of the week.
Well, I think it
because
should be
people
repealed. I don't know how you-
leaving. People are leaving, and they're saying, it's like Angie's Liz said,
Right.
we're not going to build. We're now going to put under advisory whether we build out our corporate office here
Yeah.
or go somewhere else.
Right.
And
Yeah, and the other tired argument, I'm starting to hear is people saying, businesses should be able to do what they want to do. This is the same bullshit they talked about keeping interracial
that's a
couples.
Chick-fil-A and
That's
Hobby
interracial
Lobby and all that kind of
interracial
stuff.
couples in the 50s. That was the argument.
Yes. Oh yeah. We're trying to
Government
go back
infringing on business. No,
Yeah,
you know what?
Yeah.
You don't get to pull this
No.
shit.
Yeah. Well, they
It's
try.
real simple. We talk about the golden rule.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line, would a Christian wearing a little cross on their neck?
Isn't that kind of a Christian thing?
What, golden rule?
Yeah.
You would think it
do
would be.
unto others.
Is that-
Let's review, just for those who may not
Yes.
know. The golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
So if you were a Christian wearing a little gold cross
Mm-hmm.
and the person serving you was Muslim or was a agnostic and didn't
Yeah.
like Christians,
Yeah.
then with your little law, they could say, I'm not serving you.
Yeah.
That's really the world we want to create now?
Yeah.
They really want to start to play that?
Yeah. So that's yeah.
Is that a golden rule? Would you
Well,
want to be treated that way,
well, but
Mr.
see,
Christian?
they never flip it around. There's
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be any empathy there, or
Yes.
even trying to understand it from both sides. They just
Right.
want to think about it from their side. That's it.
Right. But what's good for the goose is good for the gander. I heard there's just in the week before, the church of, what's that one called where they smoke the pot in the church? The Rafasanios or whatever. I can't get the name right. Rastafarians
Okay.
got a religious, got called a religion in Indiana the week before. So Rastafarians, they got like marijuana as part of their
Jamaican mind.
sacrament, man.
Oh yeah, well,
Oh.
the Indians have that.
Yeah.
So it doesn't surprise me that Rastafarians could do the same thing. I mean, Indians, on the
Right.
reservation can use peyote or mescaline or whatever the fuck,
Right. So I just think that, I think they didn't think about the other side. And I want to say something here because my wife brought something up because she heard our last show. Sometimes I'm saying the difference between a Christian and a Christianist. Okay. To me,
Did you get slapped down? Tom?
I did.
You got
Well,
slapped
and she had a
down?
good point because
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
not. There's a lot of people that identify as Christian that are very good people. When I'm talking about Christianist, I'm talking about the really hardcore fundamental Christian.
We'll just say fundamental Christians.
I should say
The hardcore.
fundamentalists.
Yeah.
So the fundamentalists, not Christians. So if I've offended any Christian
No.
in previous conversations, I do apologize.
Well,
Because
no,
I do think there's a
lot
there's a
of-
difference.
Well,
That'd be
there's a
like trying
living-
to call all Muslims. That'd be like trying to call all
Yeah.
Muslims
Yeah.
terrorists.
Yeah, no, it's like so there's fundamentalist Christians, there's fundamentalist Muslims. There's a live and let live thing,
Right.
And the fundamentalists typically go, "We know better. This is the way we want it to be,
Right.
and this is the way it's going to be." It's not
Right.
a live and let live,
Right.
Or they could say, "Well, sure it is. You can be a sinner as a homosexual if you want to, but I'm not going to participate in that. Nobody's
Right.
asking you to fucking participate."
Right.
Anyway.
I agree. And speaking of fundamentalists, Jeb Bush just stepped into the ring today and backed the governor.
Oh, did he
He
really?
did.
Oh, love it. Even Ted Cruz wasn't that stupid. Or no, did Ted Cruz
I
back
think
him?
Ted.
Did he back
I
him
think
up?
now Fox News and the Republican right are trying to coalesce this so it becomes a right versus left issue, which brings a lot more people in their camp if it's a right versus left issue, right? In other words,
In theory,
right?
well,
Because this
I'm not
isn't
sure
to me
that-
isn't a right versus left. This is good versus evil here. This is golden rule, non-golden rule.
Mm-hmm.
This is discrimination, pure and simple. But they're trying to now couch it.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you're hearing this stuff from Fox News with going around the Jewish thing and trying to find reasons to.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen in the beginning. It was just little Pence out there on his own for a
Yeah.
couple of days, right? And now they're trying to push this into a. It's not a 49-51 issue, guys. I hate to break the news to you.
No, it's really not.
It really
so
isn't.
But whatever.
Because-
It's gonna be straightened out by the end of the week, because it's gotten down to, and we've talked about this, folks.
Money
Money, your wallet.
comes
You
down to the
vote with your
power of the
wallet.
dollar.
Vote with your wallet.
Power of the dollar.
You can go to the ballot box and pull that lever all you want to.
That's not
but
nearly as powerful, is it?
No.
Because that really did turn them around when businesses
And some people have bigger wallets than the other, like the NCAA has a
Yeah.
bigger wallet.
yeah, headquartered in
Yeah.
Indiana.
Angie's List has a bigger wallet.
Salesforce. I want to
Yeah.
congratulate all those that
Yeah.
stepped up. Now they've
Oh,
got
yeah.
even got states barring traffic
That's right.
to travel to Indiana.
Yeah.
And you know, the decent people of Indiana, they got to be sitting there going, "You've turned my state into a laughingstock." Because we've had that here in Texas
Oh,
more
yes.
than once.
Yeah.
Right? Poor little
Yes, we
Indiana,
have.
just getting it.
Yeah.
So I think we're at that point now. I mean, Governor Pence, if you don't recall, was considered the thinking man's conservative that didn't run last time, but was a lot of people pitched for him to run.
He didn't sound like a thinking man during
Didn't
his
it?
interview.
Or long answers to a yes or no question.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's PR 101. You don't
well,
sit
yeah.
there and evade a question over and
I
over
love
again.
watching people tie themselves into knots over what should be, you're right, a simple yes or no answer.
Gave him several tries on
Yeah.
that. And he just. So by the third try, he had to know he was trying to give him a simple yes or no answer.
Oh, he
But you know
knew,
what?
but
That's
he-
the lie.
Yeah.
That's the lie here, because it's a lie around this. I saw a really interesting little meme where it showed him signing the bill, and then it put little highlights around the people that were standing around him when he was signing.
Oh, yeah. The
Yes.
one guy that said that he equated
Yeah.
homosexuality with bestiality.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
these
yeah.
are like hardcore homo haters.
That's right.
That were
And-
standing
and
standing
the
around
governor
him.
or the governor's staff picks the people that are going to
Yes.
be. You don't just show up and go, "Hey, I want to
I
be
like to be
standing
on that,
behind the
yeah,
governor." You know, oh no.
Yeah, and I liked how everybody
No.
else was dressed in religious garb.
Oh, they were.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you had these three homo haters, right? But they were right next to him, right?
Oh,
the
yeah.
other ones were kind of off to the side.
Yeah.
So,
That's what we
Yeah.
call a dog whistle, isn't it? Isn't that
Yeah.
a dog whistle?
so I'm real glad to see. I'm glad to see the outpouring.
Yeah.
Gives me
I'm glad to
hope
see
for the country.
I'm glad
Some
to
people,
see
corporations
Yeah.
stepping up. People need to-
institutions,
this
colleges,
stuff has
you
to
know, all this
step
kind of
up.
stuff. Yeah.
There's a line that's being
Yeah.
crossed,
Yeah.
attempted to being crossed over and
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
We're not going back to discrimination. Period.
No.
Ain't gonna happen. I don't care if you don't like the gays. You're gonna serve them a piece of frickin' cake.
Speaking of, you heard where Obama's got a trip coming up? You heard where he's going?
No.
Kenya.
No.
Yes, he's going to Kenya. He's finally going to go to Kenya.
All right.
I love it. I can just hear them now. They're going to go.
Gonna love that.
Oh my God, they're just going to like completely explode. Yeah. So that's
Going to
good.
Kenya. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about, speaking of fundamentalists and this Indiana thing. So, Scientology.
I haven't seen that yet.
I
Have
saw
you seen
it.
it? Oh.
Yeah, I saw it on Sunday.
Oh, don't tell
Go
me.
clear. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
we won't talk too much about it, but
Yeah, Perry saw it and he said it's just
yeah,
unreal.
the part that blows me away is how they got. I won't ruin it for you. How they got their tax exempt status? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Brilliant move
it's-
on their part, actually.
Yeah.
But this thing needs to go down.
Perry
Like,
has a friend.
I cannot believe it's not gone down yet.
Perry has a friend in Los Angeles who's backed away from his parents and backed out of the church like that.
Yeah,
Out of the
they do
Scientology
that.
church. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it has
It's a
not
cult.
been pretty for him.
It's a cult.
It's not been
That's what
pretty
it
for him.
is.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely that.
Yeah, it's really the only licensed cult I've seen.
And even as parents, you're supposed to back away from your child. If they leave the church, you're supposed to discipline them. and
disassociate.
back away.
They call it.
Disassociate. Yeah.
All right.
And
Well,
so-
since you haven't
yeah.
seen it, I'll.
No, and he.
But I'm
had-
going to encourage people to
did
check
they
out.
get into the Sea
going-
Org and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See, he's got Perry's friend has got I think a sibling that spends time at the Sea Org. And they've tried to get him to go, and he's just he's not having anything of it, which is good. It's real good.
Yeah.
So I just
Well,
think-
I'd be curious to have some people that are sitting at home that are Scientologists get their opinion of it. But
Yeah.
it's pretty devastating.
Well,
the top players that had been in there.
Here's something I read today, and this gets into more religious. I don't know why we're off on this religious thing, but it is politics, sex, and religion.
It is. That's what we talked about at Carl and Mike. We
That's
haven't done
right.
the sex part.
We
yet.
haven't. We probably need to do that.
All right.
Now, that's like scratching a wound or something like that. We don't want to do. Anyway, read this article just today about the Mormon Church and BYU. If you're a Mormon and you go to BYU, you get a special. It costs you less than it would other students. But if for whatever reason you are deemed to be a relaxed Mormon or
A relaxed Mormon?
well, I don't know what it's called, but if you walk away from the church or you're not in good standing, your bishop can tell the university to drop you, and they will drop you. It's just a telephone call, and you are dropped from the school and never allowed to go back. Well, you probably can.
You
if
can only go to
through-
BYU if you're Mormon,
No, they have other people that go there besides that. But if you are Mormon,
right? So I'm Mormon. I'm taking
go,
classes.
and
I
go to
decided I don't want
BYU,
to be a
you have
Mormon
to be
anymore.
in good standing. You got to be at church. You got to be doing whatever you're supposed to be doing. You can't be. The article talks about one couple. I guess they're married, and when their friends come over, they hide the coffee machine because you're not supposed to drink coffee. Not supposed to drink Coke.
But-
You're not supposed to
So what
drink
happens
caffeine.
again? They could get excommunicated for drinking Coke.
It's verboten, so it's.
I get that, but
Yeah.
I'm saying, what's the penalty?
Can they get? I don't know what the penalty is, but that's part of being a bad Mormon. Bad Mormon. Bad Mormon. And
It
so
seems to me that the newer religions, because they're newer, they have more rules that deal with today's day.
no, I don't know.
No coffee,
The fundamentalist
Yeah.
Islam, Sunni Shia, that's some old shit, man, and they're having some problems.
Can they drink coffee?
That's a real good. I think they only drink espresso. Actually, there's
Really?
not. Yeah,
Well,
it's
that
just straight up.
explains it, yeah.
Just straight up. But they're not supposed to smoke or any of that drink or any of that other kind of shit.
Really?
Yeah.
See, if I'm in war, I'd be wanting to smoke. If I'm
Yeah.
in war, I'm smoking cigarettes.
Oh yeah, you're smoking cigarettes and doing whatever,
I'm
everything.
smoking
you're not
anything I
supposed
can take.
yeah,
At that point.
everything you're not supposed to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what are they going to do? Kill you? You might get shot tomorrow anyway.
Yeah.
Hey,
So you're having a cigarette?
yeah, I'm having a cigarette.
It got me down a
You
little
don't
bit.
like this? Eat me.
Yeah. All right.
So I thought that was kind of weird. So it's a way of like forcing compliance, or like Scientology does that. They do
Right.
this forced compliance, coercive. compliance to, and you know, we never got that growing up as Presbyterians. Methodists don't do that shit. You know, Baptists used to do that.
You
You're
know,
not
Catholics
supposed to
had
dance,
that
you're
great
not
little
supposed to
thing where you did a
drink,
little confessional and you could confess your
Oh,
sins.
you had
Boom.
you were born with y'all were born with a get out of jail free card.
Pretty much.
I mean, you could
It's
fucking
amazing what 10 Hail Marys can do for you.
You could do whatever you wanted to do, but as long as you went to confession, did your Hail Marys, and jiggled the beads, you're good to go.
You gotta love that about the Catholics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
As a matter of fact, I saw a movie not that long ago, Don Juan or Don John. You ever see that with the guy that played in Third Rock from the Sun, the little kid?
Oh, yeah,
He's,
yeah.
Joseph Levitt something.
Yeah,
I forget
yeah.
his. He plays this Don John. He can get any girl he wants from New York. So he's very New York, and but he ends up having this addiction to porn, which starts to mess up with his love life or what have you. And but there's a little running thing where he goes, goes into the confessional every week. He goes to church with mom and dad, and he stops at the confessional and says, "Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. This time I had sex out of wedlock 4 times and masturbated to porn 37 times." And it just starts to go up.
And that's since last week.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So he and it's kind of a running gag to keep track of. I mean, you can do that, and then the Father gives him the sins, and then one week he doesn't do any porn, and he still gets the same 10 Hail Marys. It's like, what?
I don't
get like a break here. Like I did good this week.
Yeah.
No,
it's just your standard, 10 Hail Marys or whatever it is.
Yeah. And so when he worked out, he would do his Hail Marys. Anyway, it's a fun little movie. Yeah,
I don't get that whole Hail Mary thing. What
Mary,
is
full of
that?
grace, Lord is with thee?
No, I don't care about the verbiage.
Right.
That's
What don't you get?
copywriting. Now, here's the deal.
Yeah.
Again, there were some Catholic copywriters somewhere said, okay, if we're going to have people
I'm sure it was
spit out
it
some
was,
sort
it
of
was
deal,
a,
what are they going to say?
it was a freelance job.
It was a freelance job. That's exactly what it was.
We need a little prayer.
Probably a lapsed priest that was out on his own again, back out in the world, and he was trying to figure out how to make a living. That said,
Hail Mary's a prayer to Mary,
Yeah.
the Virgin Mary, and
Yeah.
the Our Father's a prayer to the Father. So you got
Yeah.
a father-mother thing happening there. What's the problem with that?
I don't know. I just it's not what it is. It's just so it's just some sort of, it's like fairy dust basically, right?
Fairy dust?
Yeah, it's fairy dust that you sprinkle on, and everything is good. You're clean again.
Yes.
Is-
Trying to
is that-
remember back. Yes. I guess it would be you'd say these things, and that was
Fairy dust.
you took the time to pray to God, and that helped cleanse your
Yeah.
sins. Yeah, the
See,
whole
Baptists
sins thing, I
don't have that kind of stuff. I mean,
No?
if you say no, you got to ask for forgiveness. You got to throw yourself on the sword and beg for forgiveness.
Well, how do you?
But that's
What is
more
that?
of a-
How do you throw yourself on the sword?
Well,
as a
it's more of a
Baptist?
thing between, I think, you and I'm theorizing here and just
Like
kind
with
of
Jerry's, what's his name? I
Springer?
said, Lord.
No,
The one who cried.
Jerry Falwell. Yeah, that was
Not
a public.
Falwell.
That was
That was the other guy.
public.
Is that kind of a Hail Mary there?
Yeah, except
Does
that's
that wash him
well,
of the
that's
sin?
that's being in public too. That's
What was his
really-
name? He was quite the character. I have sinned, my Lord. He cried.
I'll think of it.
Yeah, we'll come back to him.
anyway, yeah. But yeah, that guy. That was a public self outing
Right.
of a
So
sin.
how the Baptist does some sins. How do they get absolved of the sins?
They have to ask for forgiveness,
So that's kind of a
but
Hail
not
Mary.
to preach.
To who? To God?
Yeah, so
You
it's
pray
a
to
real,
God and say,
it's a
"God,
real-
would you forgive me?"
It's a real private thing.
Is it?
Oh yeah, it's a real private thing. Nobody really knows whether you've done it. The priest doesn't know.
Do you have to do a
don't have
prayer? Is
public
there a certain
thing.
prayer?
I have no fucking idea. I'm not a Baptist.
Well, weren't you at one time?
No, Presbyterian. No, we never got to that far down.
Presbyterian. What is the point of Presbyterian?
There
Why do
really
they even
isn't one.
exist?
It's just.
At least the Lutheran. Okay,
it's a religion in
we got
name
we got
only.
it. There was
Yeah.
a break, a political break. I get that.
Well, the thing that's great about
But we're
Presbyterian.
Presbyterians.
Well, you could smoke, you could drink, you could dance. You could pretty much do
so
whatever
it's a
you
Catholic
want
light.
to. It's not even. No, it's not even Catholic light. It's Methodist light.
Wow,
I mean, it's
that's light.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're going to be in a religion, Presbyterian would probably be the one to go
Yeah.
for
Oh, I think so.
the non-religious religion.
Well, Maybe, I guess. I don't know. I don't. I was only involved until junior high, and then after that, I just said, I'm out of here. I'm tired of going to church, tired of hearing the same old stories. I don't want to listen to
See,
shit
I was
anymore.
there. I was altar boy. I did the whole 9 yards.
Dude.
When I was a little kid, here's a strange factoid. When I was a little kid, I used to play mass.
You used to
Like
play
you
what?
play Cowboys and Indians, I would do church.
You did?
I did.
Would
We
you
put the
like
thing up.
dress up and stuff? Where did you do this, at home?
Did it at home and got out the nice, for the chalice, the nicest cup we had, and a little Welch's grape juice and some bread, and my sister.
Your parents probably thought,
They thought I was
old
going to be a
Carl was
priest.
going to be. Yes. Did they think that?
They did for a little while there, because I made my sister the congregation, so
Yeah.
she'd end up eating a half a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Because she'd have to come around.
Over and over again.
Yeah, but I
That's
remember
it.
my parents that I gave communion to the parents.
Yeah.
I was, so I had, they could have had me.
Yeah.
And
I think
somehow they just,
It depended on the
as
parents.
I got
they could
older,
either
it
be
didn't.
real encouraging or scary as shit.
I think probably scary to my dad, encouraging to my mom
Mm-hmm.
at the time. But it was kind of an odd thing to do.
Yeah. Well, everybody else was playing baseball. You were giving
I
communion.
played baseball too.
Oh. Can you play baseball and do communion?
If it's a rainy day, you do communion, you see?
Speaking of that, they're talking about the Pope bailing. He's
do you
getting
mean
ready to bailing on being a pope. He said he
No
only wants to
way.
be 3. No, haven't you heard that he's saying that he's only going to be here short term? He's not going to be for the
What?
rest of his life. You haven't read that?
No.
Oh, Carl, you got to keep up with that.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm positive.
He's saying
I've
he's
read
going to do
several
so now we're going to have like 10-year popes, 4 years, 5 years?
Well, he's saying everybody's
He's only gonna do
theorizing
3?
that he could be out in 5 years. He's getting ready to do a golden jubilee, whatever the fuck that is. Is it some sort of like fireworks display?
kind of a
and
dance
stuff?
party.
It's a dance party. Okay, so he's going to have the Catholic dance party, and then they're thinking that may be a time when he bails out.
No way.
I know we can't lose this guy,
We got to keep Francis.
but he's going. Why do I want to do this?
He's
shit?
probably looked at a lot of stuff and
yeah, and
has
he's
a tummy
going,
ache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Are they going to
really-
put Benedict back in? Back from the crib. Hello, I'm back.
Let's get those red velvet shoes dusted off. Let's get after it.
It's German party time.
You know what's going to be interesting is it's going to be interesting to see if he's changed
Benedict?
he hadn't been there long enough or gotten rid of enough people
No.
to change the culture.
And
He may
maybe
be
that's why
going,
they're
there's
gonna
no
push
way
him
I'm
out.
going to change the culture.
He's
you
giving
know.
up. He can't give up.
I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah, so I
the
don't
wonderful
know.
world of
But
religion.
Presbyterians we don't have a pope.
You don't
I
have
don't
a
think
pope?
they have bishops or anything like that. They have.
Have they decided to allow for gay marriage in the church? Where are they at on that?
See, I think some of those churches, like some of the Methodists and Baptists and Presbyterians, when they allow for that kind of stuff, there's a split in the church. So the real
Right.
conservative Presbyterians split off their church and go over here, and the other ones do what they're going to do. And I think that's been happening with some of the denominations. I
See-
don't know which they are, and I really don't care. I think that's just some,
Here's
whatever.
let's talk gay marriage for a minute. To me, if a conservative was really a conservative, okay, traditional family values, okay, wouldn't they want to be, they should be happy the gays are getting off the New Orleans style parties and settling down and having a family, which would be right in the conservative values if it was really about conservatism.
Was
Don't
their
you think?
opinion of what
Why
they were
is
their-
the Bible even injected in this, in the conservative thing?
Because
Are you a
it's
conservative or are you a Christian
it's
conservative?
justification for their phobias.
So what is the phobia?
Because
Because I know they quote the Bible, but I mean
yeah.
that's always been to me, ironically, a bullshit argument.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to quote the Bible on this one thing, then you've got to follow the Bible all the way through.
See,
You can't
well, I
pick
think
and
a lot-
choose.
I think a lot of parents, young parents, feel like they're trying to protect their kids from the
perverted gays.
from the perverted gays. But see, gay
Turning
and
them into a choice.
They don't understand
'Cause I
that
think it
there
is.
is
They
a
still think
difference
it's a
between
choice.
gay and pedophile. There's a huge difference there,
Oh, of course.
but they don't see that.
Well,
They see older men wanting younger boys. That's a pedophile.
Right.
I guess there's a gay component too, but they say all gays want.
but
you know,
isn't
I mean,
most
it's just-
pedophiles heterosexual?
It could be. I don't know. I don't know.
No, it is.
Yeah, I don't know the
I
answer
think
to
the-
that.
I think
but see,
the
I think there's a lot of
statistics are
that
quite up.
fear there, and there may be some of the people that are. I don't even pretend to understand their logic.
But I mean,
don't want to
gays
even
getting
try.
married you could argue, a step in the conservative direction. Just from a straight conservative family value thing, a family.
Yeah, except their idea of what's conservative is one man, one woman, and a goat.
But see, that's when you bring the religious aspect into it.
What, the goat?
Well, I don't know. Maybe certain religions have the goat. I don't know. It just. And I'll give society credit. It has changed quicker on this issue.
Oh yeah, no, it's changing real fast. There's still
Real
going to be
fast.
people that are going to dig in Mississippi, Louisiana,
Yeah. Well, I think
Alabama, West
I think
Virginia.
unless the court goes totally ideological, they're going to pass the gay marriage thing in the summer here.
When is that going to have to happen? Is that
I
going
think
to
that
happen?
happens when they make their final. They
When is
close
that-
for
when
the
do they
summer.
think-
That's like usually
Oh,
May,
they're going
June,
to get right. Oh,
right before they take off for the summer, right? And they come
right
back in
before
October.
they go to the beach.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So we've only got another
couple of months, and
couple
they're
of
going to make
months,
the
and they're gonna
news
make
on.
a
They're going to
decision.
make the choice on that.
They really have only one choice.
Really
to
is
know.
no argument.
No.
Really
anybody that tries to argue the other way, and it better be. I would
It
love
should
to.
be.
I would love to
I
see.
know.
I would love to see a unanimous decision,
It
which
won't
I
be,
don't
'cause-
believe I've ever seen one.
Oh,
But I
no,
think there's going to be some people that get in there and.
Scalia is not going to go for it. He's a hardcore
neither is
Christian,
Thomas.
hardcore Catholic. Thomas is going to follow Scalia,
Yeah.
so there's guaranteed
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
Probably the Italian guy. What's his name? Bush.
Pepperoni.
I don't know.
No, what is-
pepperoni? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I forget. Anyway,
Yeah.
I doubt if he goes 6-3 would be good. For me, I'd be
Yeah.
surprised if it goes 5-4.
But
That's too bad.
But then what they're going to do is then the states' rights people are going to start saying, "Well, we don't. Need, this is this
Doesn't
shouldn't
matter.
be
It's
a
a federal
thing."
law
It
now.
doesn't matter. They're fighting that shit all the time. No, we don't want the federal government telling us what to do. We're going to.
No, you don't want the federal government to tell you what to do when it affects your belief system. You have no problem with the federal government. They have no problem with the federal government when it's right up their alley. If the federal government banned abortions, they'd be on the street.
They'd like
Happy,
that.
happy,
They would
happy.
like that, wouldn't they?
Yes. So let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's not a federal. I mean, they use that. We don't like government in our lives. No, you want state government in your
Yeah.
lives. I would.
Yeah.
They're a little closer,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know.
But gay marriage ends in that kind of.
Well, yeah. It's just I want it to be over with.
Right. Well, June.
Yeah, I want it to be over with, so nobody's going to be bitching about it. Or,
Right.
Well, there's always going to be somebody bitching about it. There will
Well,
constantly
and-
be somebody bitching about it.
And the young people really are even more so than behind pro-gay marriage in vastly large numbers if you're under 30.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So it's a generational
yeah,
thing,
it's
too.
very much a generational thing.
But I'm a little disappointed in Boomer generation. It seems
You're-
like
you're
we're waiting now. We're
disappointed
in
in
the
us?
yeah, because now it's like, oh, well, we say this now. Well, just got to wait for that generation to die. This is my generation.
Well, yeah, but
To a
there's
certain
always
degree.
going to be, there's always going to be a certain percentage of those people. Those people are the ones that are vocal. The rest of us are sitting back and going, "Oh my God," we're just like rubbing our forehead, going, "I can't believe this shit's going on again." But those people are believers. They're out there. They're going to march. They're going to whine. They're going to
But why does that happen?
write letters. They're going to do everything to try and get their way on stuff. That's the way the school boards work. That's the way the Texas textbooks work. It's not the vast majority of them. It's just a few rabid,
Right.
fucked up, scared little human beings that are out there trying to change shit to meet what they think is correct.
Zealots have the most Jews.
Huh?
Zealots have the most Jews.
Zealots have the most Jews.
Here's my question for you, because I feel like politically, or my view of the world, hasn't changed that much from when I was 21 in terms of. I mean, I've had some fluctuations. There were a couple times I voted Republican, but it was a different Republican Party back then. But I don't think my view of the world's changed that much. But you have friends where, like I have a friend, that, God, I know this guy and we smoked pot and did all sorts of stuff, and now he's like hardcore conservative. Or even my sister that went fairly hardcore conservative. I don't
But what are
understand
they
how that
conservative
happens.
about? See, that's the
I don't-
part that.
what is that?
Okay, like your
why
sister.
Why does that happen?
Is your sister against gays? Is she against abortion?
Gays? No, but the last time we had a conversation about it was a few years ago. She was not on board on the gay marriage thing.
She would.
No.
And abortion, she's probably still against that too. So socially, she's conservative, as well as physically, she's conservative.
I would say not totally socially
Yeah.
conservative. We're
Would they let her
politics.
in the tent? They'd take her vote, but would they let her in the tent? As long as she kept her mouth shut, probably.
Yeah, she might. Just in general, you can pretty much. She's going to go conservative on it.
Why? Why is that?
Why is that? But she wasn't that way as a kid.
I don't know.
Maybe she was kind of non-political as a kid.
You know,
really.
I don't know.
Do you have friends that you know that now they have this whole political?
Well, I have some
change?
friends that are just rabid conservatives that listen to Rush and Fox and all those radio shows and all that kind of bullshit. But you look at photographs back on when in high school and college, and they had long hair and smoked weed.
Right.
Now, I don't believe for a second they would have been thinking that way back then, but they may have been. I don't know. I'm
You
making
didn't talk
a judgment.
about it back then.
Yeah. Well,
Didn't talk
I
politics.
didn't know him back then. I didn't know him back then.
Oh.
And so, but I don't think.
But so you don't have like you just got together with some old friends, right, from many years back.
Yeah.
Do you have any friends that changed? And it does seem for me that the people change to conservative as they get older.
Well, yeah, there may be some that have
More so than,
But if they have been from that far distance, there's very few people that I'm still in contact with from college
right? No.
or high school. And I would say probably the people from high school are mostly conservative, being from that small little town in Farmington. I would say, yeah, probably. And why is that? I don't know. I really don't know. I can't answer the question on that. I still think it gets down to the certain group of people have done a really good job of selling the fact that there's people out there that are deadbeats that are getting your money. And the government's taking care of them and giving them your money. They're getting your stuff, and it's one of those. I don't want somebody to get my stuff. I don't want people to get my stuff, my money. I want to be able to control where my money goes. And again, I just say, that's great.
Yeah.
Opt out. Don't pay taxes. But you don't get a voice, you don't get to whine, you don't get the fire department, you don't get the hospital, you don't get sidewalks, you don't get water, you don't get shit. You want to be on your own? Fine, do it. But they always default back, that's when the backpedaling starts. But what it really gets down to, they don't like things like Medicare because they feel like that's giving something to somebody. Yet when they turn 65, by God, don't take that away from me.
Yeah.
They bitch about it until they get it. They bitch about Social Security until they get it, but then Social Security is one of those kind of things. Well, that's my money. I paid into it. Well, yeah, you're right. It is. Everybody's paid into it.
Right.
Not everybody, but the vast majority of people have paid into it that are getting something out. And you don't get out more necessarily than you put in. Some people probably do. Some people get back less than they put in. So I don't, it's a deal about the other,
Yeah.
I still think it's about the other.
It's fear of the other,
Fear of the other.
whether that be the gays marrying or
Yeah. The gays
there's
are
a fear of the other. What
the
is
gays are other than us.
Right.
The Muslims are other than us. These racial minorities are other than us. And that makes it sound like I'm just saying it's the whites that are doing that, but I think it's anybody, whether they're white, black, Hispanic, Jewish, whatever. They have that kind of
fear
a fear.
of the other.
Fear of the other that's been fostered and lied to. I think it's real easy to lie to people that
About the other.
About the other, that take things on faith from people who in positions of responsibility. I think it's a lot of times people in positions of responsibility that abuse that position by fostering those kinds of things.
All right, there it is. Politics,
Jimmy Swaggart.
religion. We haven't done sex.
It's Jimmy Swaggart.
Jimmy Swaggart.
I have
That's
seen
who
the
it
name, my
was. Thank
Lord.
you.
Yeah,
Jimmy
but I think
Swaggart.
he's still at it.
Is he still alive?
Oh yeah, he's still at it. He's still
Still
preaching.
crying?
Oh yeah, because see that's the deal. He does all that shit.
He gets a new church.
He gets he gets a new church. He's doing it again. You know, he's still doing it. There's certain people who go, oh, he is a sin. Now here's the catch on this. He's a sinner just like I am. I can't throw the first rock. I forgive him for what he did. He is my preacher.
So why don't they have that same attitude towards the gays?
Oh no.
What?
Well, first off, you're assuming that the gays
The
are
gays.
sinners. They're saying that they're sinners, but
Right.
gays
So
don't feel like
they're a
that.
sinner.
Yeah,
So
no.
according to them, you're a sinner.
Swaggart
So
was.
he's a sinner. Gays
Yeah.
are sinning, according to them.
So if you ask for forgiveness as a gay, then you can get, you know. See, if you're going to be gay, I think you really need to be
You
a
can't
Catholic.
ask for
because
forgiveness
you can
on what
go-
you were born
You can go
with.
back. You get that free card. The card.
Yeah.
It's the get out of jail free card.
Yeah. But that's, you know, they're saying a sin acting on who you are.
Yeah.
It's not a sin.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you, okay, sex. Have you seen Sex Box yet?
No.
I have not seen that. I've been
So
trying
we
to
should
find
talk to
it.
people about Sex in a Box.
Sex in a Box.
Yes.
And
Can't
we
bel-
had, now
this is a
neither one of us
television
have
show.
seen it, but I read about it, and it's a television show, and it's on. I think it's WE, W-E,
Right.
I think.
So here's the
It must
my
be on at
understanding
3
of it
a.m. or
is
something. I don't know.
they have a couple, and there's a box, and the couple
Goes-
go in and have sex in the box.
Yeah, they shut
Hence
the door.
the name of the,
Yeah, they
of
shut
the
the door,
show.
so you can't-
Sex in a Box.
You can't see them doing anything.
Have sex, but they are having sex. Then they come out.
and you can't hear them.
They come out and are interviewed right away after
Yeah.
sex, so they're still like
Yeah.
in the bathrobe.
still
and
glistening from
glistening, possibly even.
The, yeah.
And then they have like sex therapist, psychologist. They have like 3 judges,
You know,
and supposedly then they talk about, because I love how they
they're
how
trying
they
to
pull this
justify
off.
this with
The
therapy and stuff.
justification is that after sex you are most
Oh, yeah.
vulnerable and
Yeah.
open and truthful.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So the people now can talk to you and get deeper.
Yeah. See, now I think that's they're again a
I
load
love
of
that.
bullshit.
Yeah,
But
that's their-
and that's some mental masturbation of the first order.
To get to that point,
Yeah.
yes. So they can do sex in the box.
Yeah. So they've got mental masturbation while there's some other stuff going on in the box. But see,
Right.
here's the thing: how long are they in the box? And is the audience sitting
If
out
I'm
there?
going in, I'm going to stay there even when I'm, you know what I mean?
Yeah, when I'm through,
I'm
I
going
ain't coming
45
back out.
minutes.
Yeah, I'm
solid.
going 45 minutes. Don't ring the bell.
I ain't like coming out
yeah,
after
no.
3 minutes.
You poke
Yeah.
your head out the door. You know, but see, there's the audience.
Yeah, you
that
wanna
is
say-
sitting
this
there.
is a very
the
good point.
audience is sitting there
Waiting
for them
for
to
them
come out.
of the box.
So what does the audience think? Just think. Imagine. Here's the deal.
Okay.
If you're in the audience,
Yes.
you know that somebody's doing the deed up there in the box
In the box, yes.
on the stage,
Yes.
and everybody's waiting for them to finish up and come out.
And what are the
So in
judges doing? Everybody just sitting there quietly?
I don't know, but don't you think there's people in the audience who are going, now what are they really doing in there? And their imaginations go wild. Because they could be doing all kinds of shit in there.
You never
So
know
the
in Sex in
audience
the
is
Box.
building up what's going on in the box, probably way beyond what is actually happening. The couple may be going in there and going, okay, let's bang on the side of the wall a little bit here and make it sound like some stuff's going on. And
You're saying there's couples that go in there and don't have sex? I think
Well,
if you're
we
going
don't-
on the show.
we don't know.
But there's many questions I have. Well, first off, if I'm in the audience of Sex in the
well,
Box,
there's a certain
you know what I'm
exhibition-
thinking?
There's a certain what do they call it?
Exhibitionist.
Exhibitionist thing. Even though the audience can't watch you, the fact that you go in the box and say that you're going to do that up there on the stage under the lights,
Right.
and there's also a certain kind of voyeuristic thing about it that's going on with the audience.
Because to be quite honest, if I'm in the audience of Sex in the Box, I'm going to be questioning my very existence. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be wondering. I'm going to go, really? What am I doing here?
Yeah, what am I doing? Yeah.
What
Well,
is
yeah.
wrong with me? That's what I'm going to be
Well,
thinking.
I mean, the audience is probably a bunch of free tickets that they get.
But here's my other question. that intrigues me. How do you talk the wife into going onto a television show? First off, then then you got to
Talk about your sexual problems.
talk about your sexual issues. Second off, and then you got to talk her into
Oh, and by the way, we're going to do that after we have Sex in the Box.
on TV.
Yeah. No, I just,
How do you even approach that?
Is that just going to be
how
a
do you
bunch of
approach that
commercials? Are they
conversation?
going to have 30 minutes worth of commercials in the middle? They're going to have something on either end
No,
and
they're
then
going to edit.
commercials
They
in?
got to edit the box. You ain't going to wait there. Because first off, you're right. If you're like me, unless they tell you you've only got 10 minutes, I'm staying in the box as long as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
My friends, I don't want me coming out of the box after 3 minutes.
And they're going to go, oh,
Yeah, he's pretty damn good. He's in
Carl's
there
got a
40
short fuse. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring a little. I'm gonna bring a little book light.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I'm trying to imagine the conversation. So, honey, we got this. There's this show that I'd like to be on
I
called
can't-
Sex in a Box.
I don't know.
even know how you'd approach the conversation.
Well, but the thing is, there are probably a lot of couples that are lined up to do that, and they interview the couples to find out who's going to be right for the show. And it's just
So they're gonna want an expressive couple.
okay. Well, there's Sex in a Box. So what's next? Sex up on stage without the box.
The box gets
The
lifted.
box gets lifted.
That's got to happen. Season 2.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I thought this was far.
Right.
What's the next thing?
I think after Sex in the
Outrageous.
Box, you got Circle Jerk. I don't know. It's a circle. I don't know. The triangle.
Yeah,
It's a
I don't
three-way.
know.
Triangle and
Three-way.
a triangle.
Maybe the therapist
Maybe
goes,
there's triangle in the box, so you
Triangle
don't
in the
know
box.
which one you're having sex with.
Ooh.
Well, you would kind of know
Well-
because if you're male and there's a female and if there's two females though, you want to know which female you're having
I ain't
sex
coming
with.
out of that box.
You're staying in that box.
It ain't coming
Keep
out of that
box
Yeah,
closed.
no.
Yeah, where do you go with Sex in the Box? I don't know. It's weird that we're talking about a show neither of us have seen.
Yeah.
Like,
You're
Lionel
right. We're
Carter.
talking about a show we haven't seen, and the people in the audience are talking about sex that they haven't even seen.
So we're kind of in a dark space. We can't see the show.
Yeah.
And they can't see it. Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
So
You
we're-
like that?
I like that.
Ooh.
It's a show in the box for us.
Yeah, it's a show in the box. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly right.
But I mean, who comes up with that kind of stuff?
I don't know.
So how do you even pitch the idea? So Jimmy, here's what I'm thinking. Got a box, right? We get a couple, we put them in the box. They have sex in the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we
and
talk to them.
Yeah, and we talk
How
to
do you
them
pitch that?
afterwards. It's kind of like the same guy that bought a show about nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same deal. I don't know. It just
I'd love to have heard the pitch for the show. Let me get this. Let me get this straight. We're
wait a
gonna
minute. I got to get Jerry in here. Hold
Yeah,
on, just a
hold
minute.
on.
Jerry, you got to come in here. This is the best thing I've heard this week. Come on in.
Yeah.
And then they
Okay,
pitch
tell
it
him again,
again.
tell him again.
Yeah. And then before you know it, you've got 50 people in the room going,
laughing.
yeah, laughing, and they're going, fucking, I love it. How big is the box going to be? We're going to have a round bed in the box.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a wash? Are they going to have be able to take a shower before they come back out? Or are they going to have to go in pajamas? Are they going to come back out in pajamas? What are they going to do? They have to, what's it? And I'm going, you've been in those kind of pitch
Yes. And advertising.
meetings and advertising.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking thing. They're
I know,
sit
but
around.
that's
sit
why
around
I
in
would
a
love
room.
to hear the pitch.
Yeah, they sit around in a room and they do that, and then there's the pitch, and then there's the camel, that becomes
Right.
that becomes the show. For y'all that don't know, camel is it is what a
Oh yeah, a
Horses.
horse and it's a horse and a committee.
horse and camel is a horse designed by committee. Yeah,
Right.
and that's what this is. This is a camel.
Yeah.
Although it's an interesting camel, I'd probably watch the show once just to see what the fuck's going on.
Well, I think they're banking on that.
There's probably got to be interviews with audience participants while it's going. Wouldn't you think?
I would think so, but I think they just, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Anyway, we did it. Politics, sex, religion, you get it all here on Carl
Yeah,
and Mike.
it's all right here.
Nowhere else are you going to get this kind of riveting conversation. Where you can talk
Thought-provoking
about-
bullshit.
Yes. You could talk about everything from
Mm-hmm.
Tesla to sex in a box and go right through politics, gay marriage. What else we talk about today? Hail Marys. I mean, really.
Yeah.
It's a cornucopia of
And you know the amazing part? We didn't come up with any answers to anything.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
So we are kind of a show about nothing.
We bear no responsibility
Yes. So,
for anything that's said or whatever you think.
right. So tune in next week to Carl and Mike. We're on at carlmike.net is our website. Carl and Mike, anything on social media, you can find us. Do give us a review. Maybe not this show. But
do this
do this
shows,
show. We like reviews. Please subscribe. All that good stuff. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, you name it. Any other final words of wisdom for our
Not
audience?
really.
No, we got
No.
nothing. All right. Peace.
They're out.